Welcome to our discussion on corporate social responsibility, focusing on the key policies, laws, and regulations governing it. These frameworks are crucial for mandating corporate accountability and encouraging sustainable development practices within businesses. Let's delve into Section 135 of the Companies Act to understand which companies must comply with CSR laws. Companies meeting any of the following specific financial criteria are legally required to adhere to these CSR regulations. First, a company must comply if its net worth is greater than or equal to rupees 500 crore. This applies to companies whose net worth is 500 crore rupees or more in any given financial year. Next, compliance is required if a company's turnover is greater than or equal to rupees 1,000 crore. Specifically, this applies to companies with a turnover of 1,000 crore rupees or more during a financial year. Finally, companies must comply if their net profit is greater than or equal to rupees 5 crore. This criterion targets companies that achieve a net profit of 5 crore rupees or more in a financial year. Now, let's explore the practical steps for implementing CSR in India as mandated by Section 135. These are the core steps that eligible companies must follow to fulfill their corporate social responsibilities. The first crucial step is to form a dedicated corporate social responsibility committee within the company. Following that, companies must develop a comprehensive CSR policy that outlines their commitment and activities. A significant requirement is to allocate at least 2% of their average net profit towards CSR activities. Companies are also required to regularly report on all their CSR activities and their impact. Finally, there are specific guidelines for managing any unspent CSR funds, ensuring accountability and proper utilization. Let's look at Schedule VII, which specifies the eligible CSR activities companies can undertake in India. These focus areas are designed to create significant social and environmental impact across the nation. One key area is eradicating poverty, aiming to uplift communities and improve their living conditions. This includes initiatives like food distribution, rural welfare projects, and programs focused on hunger alleviation. Another vital area is promoting education and enhancing skills, crucial for individual and national development. Activities here involve building schools, providing scholarships, and offering valuable vocational training programs. Environmental sustainability is also a core focus, addressing pressing ecological challenges. This includes efforts like afforestation, promoting renewable energy sources, and ensuring access to clean water resources. Improving health and sanitation is another crucial category, contributing to public well-being. This involves supporting hospitals, implementing disease prevention initiatives, and participating in Swachh Bharat programs. Finally, rural development is a significant area, aiming to enhance the quality of life in villages. These projects focus on improving infrastructure and elevating the overall living standards in rural areas. Let's explore the global frameworks for corporate social responsibility, which provide essential guidelines for businesses worldwide. These frameworks are crucial for guiding ethical and sustainable business practices across the globe, ensuring responsible operations. First, we have ISO 26000, an important international standard focusing on social responsibility guidance for organizations. It is a voluntary guidance standard, meaning organizations can choose to adopt its principles for social responsibility. ISO 26000 specifically focuses on promoting ethical governance and meaningful engagement with all stakeholders involved. Crucially, ISO 26000 is not certifiable. Instead, it offers valuable recommendations for improving social performance. Next, we examine the UN Global Compact, a significant initiative for corporate sustainability and responsible business. It outlines 10 universal principles covering human rights, labor standards, environmental protection, and anti-corruption efforts. This is a voluntary initiative, encouraging companies to align their strategies and operations with these core principles. Participating companies commit to submitting annual progress reports, demonstrating their ongoing efforts towards sustainability. Finally, let's look at the GRI standards, which are widely used for sustainability reporting globally. These are a global standard for corporate social responsibility and sustainability reporting, providing comprehensive guidelines. GRI standards help organizations track and report their economic, environmental, and social impacts accurately. They offer quantifiable metrics for reporting, and unlike ISO 26000, GRI reporting can actually be certified. Now, let's turn our attention to the pivotal role that governments play in shaping CSR landscapes. Governments enforce CSR laws and regulations, like India's Companies Act 2013, ensuring mandatory compliance from businesses. They also monitor compliance and ensure transparency in how companies report their CSR activities and outcomes. Furthermore, governments promote the alignment of CSR policies with the Global Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. To encourage CSR, governments often offer incentives such as tax exemptions and subsidies for active engagement. They also encourage public-private partnerships, or PPPs, to fund and execute large-scale social development projects. Let's now walk through the essential stages of a typical CSR compliance workflow within an organization. The first step is to carefully formulate a clear and comprehensive corporate social responsibility policy. Next, organizations implement the various initiatives and programs outlined in their CSR policy. After implementation, it is crucial to monitor progress and rigorously report on the outcomes of these initiatives. Finally, any instances of non-compliance must be promptly addressed and rectified to maintain integrity. Now, let's delve into the key ethical principles that underpin effective and genuine corporate social responsibility. These principles form the very foundation for ensuring that corporate responsibility is both genuine and impactful. First, we have transparency and accountability, which are cornerstones of responsible business conduct. This means openly disclosing CSR spending, activities, and impact reports to all relevant stakeholders consistently. Next is fair business practices, ensuring ethical conduct across all operations and interactions. It means ensuring no exploitation of workers, providing fair wages, and maintaining safe, respectful working conditions. A crucial principle is avoiding greenwashing, which involves being truthful about environmental efforts. Do not exaggerate or falsely claim sustainability efforts without providing real social or environmental benefits. Another vital principle is community focus, emphasizing the importance of local engagement. Align CSR projects with genuine community needs and actively involve local stakeholders in the process. Finally, we have environmental responsibility, a critical aspect of sustainable business operations. Minimize carbon footprints, reduce waste, and measurably adopt clean energy solutions to protect our planet. All right, let's bring everything together now with a concise summary of our key discussions on CSR. Here are the most important key takeaways from our session that you should definitely remember and apply. Remember, India's Companies Act of 2013 makes CSR spending mandatory for specific eligible firms, a crucial legal requirement. Section 135 of the Act clearly details who it applies to, the spending requirements, committee formation, and policy formulation. Internationally, standards such as ISO 26000, the UN Global Compact, and GRI provide essential guidance for global CSR initiatives. Governments play a vital role by enforcing laws, monitoring compliance, and also offering incentives to encourage CSR activities. True ethical CSR requires transparency, fair business practices, and actively avoiding any form of misleading greenwashing claims. Complying with CSR regulations not only prevents penalties, but also significantly builds public trust and investor confidence in your company.